You are watching the 4.3 retest film. In this one, we're going to translate quadratic equations into standard form. So we're going to take factored form and put them into standard form. We're going to take vertex form and put it into standard form. Remember, the advantages of standard form is that you can find that y-intercept really quick. All right, you should have the white packet in front of you. We're going to do some of the problems on that white packet. Remember, your white packet needs to be fully complete before you are allowed to retest. And here we go. We're going to do the first two problems. This one is in factored form. And this one is in vertex form. We do the same thing pretty much in each one. There's just a little hiccup with the vertex because of that squared. What does that mean? So remember, standard form looks like this. If you notice, the big difference is that standard form does not have any of those parentheses. So that's basically what we're going to do, is we're going to take those parentheses and either put them in a box or foil, whatever you are used to get rid of them. Finally, multiplying by what a is and adding what this k is in this one over here. So parentheses always come first. We're going to take care of those first. So in this case, we are going to multiply out the x minus 3 and the 3x plus 2. Using this box, 3x times x is 3x squared. It's not 3x, it's not 4x, that would be adding. You multiply 3 times 1, and then x times x. 3 times 1 is 3, x times x is x squared. And 1x times 2 is 2x, 3x times negative 3 is negative 9x, and 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. What you will find for all of these in quadratics is that those two will be able to be added together. So my answer from this piece is 3x squared minus 7x minus 6. Now, you still have this 2 out in front. So the negative 2 comes into play now. So we're going to multiply all three of those parts by negative 2 for a final answer of negative 6x squared plus 14x and then a positive 12. That is now in standard form. So notice we took care of the parentheses first, and then we multiplied by a at the end. For vertex form, what you have to understand is this h minus 3 in parentheses squared means that there is 2 of those. And those are the parentheses that we're going to multiply out first. So h times h would be 1 times 1 is 1, and then h times h is h squared. H times negative 3 is negative 3h. Negative 3 times h is negative 3h. Negative 3 times negative 3 is positive 9. And just like in the last one, we can combine those. So our answer for this part is h squared minus 6h plus 9. All right, so we have two extra pieces here. We have this a, but we also have this, and remember that was k from vertex form. Take care of a first. We multiply those first. So we're going to multiply all of this by 3. 3h squared minus 18h plus 27. And then we're going to take care of the minus 5 at the very last. So my final answer is 3h squared minus 18h plus 22. Now it's in standard form. Okay, feel free and rewind those if you don't quite understand the factored form or the vertex form, trying to get those into standard form. If you need more help on that, see your teacher before or after school. We're going to move on to number 12. Number 12, notice it says write the function in vertex and factored form, then multiply to find standard form. So vertex form. Vertex form is y equals a, and then x minus h squared plus k. So we need to know what a is, we need to know what h is, we need to know what k is. Factored form looks like this, a, and then x minus p, and x minus q. So we need to know what a is, p is, and q. And remember, p and q are the x-intercepts. So for standard form, then we do exactly what we did in the first part of the movie, which is multiply them out. And you only need to take one of the two, vertex or factored form. So whichever one you're the best at, choose that one. So for both of these up here, we need to know what the pattern is to find A. So here's the vertex, and the next point you see is right here, or here. And notice it went down 1 and right 1. So if the normal pattern is 1, 3, 5, and we're actually getting -1, and then probably -3, and then -5, you can see that A has to be -1. So for both of these A's in vertex and standard or factored form, you're going to put -1 in that place. Now the vertex is -1, +4. So the vertex form ends up looking like this. Okay, remember this is the opposite. So x, let's see, x -1, so it'd be x plus 1 would be opposite, squared. And then k is the same, so that'd be +4. There's your vertex form. Factored form, we need to look at the x-intercepts. So here's an x-intercept, here's an x-intercept. And remember now these are opposite. So -1 is A. And then let's see, this is x equals, or sorry, p equals 1 and p equals -3. So let's start with -3. Remember it's opposite, so it'd be x plus 3. And then +1, opposite, x minus 1. There's your factored form. Now to find standard form, we're just going to multiply out. I'm better at this one, so that's what I'm going to use. X times x is x squared, x times -1, x times 3, and -3, or sorry, 3 times -1 is -3. Remember, we can combine those for 2x. And then finally, we just need to multiply by that -1. So I get y equals -1 x squared minus 2x, and then plus 3. And there's your standard form. Okay. So if you don't quite get that, you can rewind that and watch it again, or go see your teacher for help. I'm going to look at one more, and I think this is number 11. And I'm not going to do the whole problem, but I'm going to show you A again, because that seems to be the place where everyone messes up. So 1, 3, and 5 is the regular pattern. So here's the vertex. Here is the next point. So we know that it went up 3 before it went over 1. So this has to be a +3. That should be enough right away to tell us what A has to be. So A is always the number that you would multiply by to get that. So 1 to +3, 1 times 3 gives you that +3. So that's got to be what A is. So in number 11, A is 3. You can go through and do exactly the same things we did in the previous one. If you don't quite remember, go back and rewind the video and look at it. Remember, you have to have that whole tape, the whole packet done before you are allowed to retest. This is 4.3, so you're going to have to do the 4.4 one also to retest. 4.3 and 4.4 are retested together.